what's going on. Basically, it's like the YouTube community, we are basically like one big think tank. We can actually compete with the actual think tanks out there. I mean, the networking is freaking. It's look, you just for instance, you get in a prepper chat. It's like you got guys from Alaska to Florida, all like what's the word corresponding and giving input into the topics, the way we bounce ideas around, and everybody kind of throws in their 2 cents in the chat. Some people do panels. I got on another buddy's freaking show. Me and my mom did once. Dude, snap. uh I mean, the more of these circles that you can run with, the more like intelligence gathering you can do, and then you also can bounce ideas off one another. You know what I mean? And in a way, it's a hybrid sort of thing because none of us are actually in some like gang, like we had to freaking like get beat in, or we had to cut someone's face or something like that. No, we're just all have common interests, and it fellowship is a must. Like the Bible even says, "Forsake not the assembly." I mean, we're not. So some of these people are. A lot of these people are believers, to some extent. You know what I'm saying? From diverse backgrounds. I mean, some of them ain't, and that's all good. I'm not gonna press my views on you. Don't press your views on me. But we're gonna try to stick to the script, to the subject, sanitize it with as little political poison, toxic, but yet it's all based on what's going on politically, right? So I suggest to everyone you should go do some homework, dude. Which is like, look, it could be simple as this. If you never seen the movie Red Dawn, it's like basically it was made in the 80s. Okay, this is when Reagan was still in frickin' was still in power, or was president, and you got to think this guy was an actor. The vice president George Bush, the warmonger, was actually president since Kennedy was shot. You know what I'm saying? Secretly, covertly, freaking But during that time frame, the Iron Curtain still was up. Look, that's when the Berlin Wall came down. Freaking the symbol of the Iron Curtain starting to fall, or like, look, big bunch of BS. You know what I'm saying? Probably more propaganda, more bread and circus, more political theater. But they were still having peace talks with Gorbachev. I mean, I can vaguely remember this shit. I had look, didn't really have much interest in it, but my grandfather was a Bible nut conspiracy guy from the military, and he kept showing me these pamphlets of like George Bush claiming that he wanted to start a new world order, 1,000 points of light. Look. Anyway, that movie Red Dawn is basically freaking. It's that is a classic example of predictive programming, and it is a real scenario. See, that's what think tanks do, is they make up phony scenarios and they freaking narrow it down to what they think would be the best plan of action. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same way we're kind of walking. So look, if we all had that one film there, if you really studied it, like look, I don't watch movies anymore for entertainment. I always decode. I had to stop decoding because of my copyright strikes all the time. So I mean, I don't know. So I just said, hey, they shook my confidence in that area, so I had to stop doing it. But you could still talk about it. And under fair use, man, nigga, I did nothing fucking wrong. So you guys, look, once again, YouTube, you guys drew freaking first blood too with me on that too, because that was BS, dude. That was legalese. You know, I wasn't selling this material. You niggas was putting ads on my shit, making money off it, and that's some kind of fucking loophole. I didn't necessarily, you didn't give me all the disclosure about that. That you was gonna renege on that shit and then shadow ban me for the rest of my freaking life. You know what I'm saying? But if we all had these talking points, like, look, if we looked at the movie and used the talking points from the movie, we could have an exchange of what we think would be the best plan of action in that particular situation. I mean, anyway, it's like, and we can really pick it apart and use it. Like, look, as I mean, maybe this is one of the reasons these kind of movies were even made in the first place. Like, somehow they were trying to leak out a little truth covertly. They couldn't just come straight out and say it. And the movie industry, Hollywood, books, all that. Like, some books are real life stories, but they say fiction. But it was really what happened. They just changed the names. It's kind of like that movie Blood In, Blood Out. That's a great movie. That shows how a government gets centralized. Even though this was a gang, but this is a gang that really operates as a government within a government unto itself. It's like people don't realize this, but the original democracies were the pirates. They had to take a vote what they were going to do, and that's where it really comes from. It comes from Indians, pirates, and the ninjas of Japan, the Iga and the Koga. Freaking, a lot of people don't even know this stuff. They think it came from the Greeks, but look, it really migrated around the earth by the pirates and the mariners. That's where it. Nope. Uh, Anyway, man. So in this Red Dawn movie, basically it's a scenario where, in that time, it was Cuba came here to attack. You know what I'm saying? But look, they were trying to. They did something called the Bay of Pigs, where the Americans fucking sent a bunch of mercenaries over there to try to take it back from Castro. So once again, they did a preemptive strike. You know what I'm saying? But Castro's being an asshole, fucking letting the Russians put missiles in his fucking country just to look, just to, and that's the reason why, dude. Look, Russia wouldn't want outsiders in Ukraine either, because that's closer than frickin' Cuba is to Florida. It's only like 90 miles or something like that, and they could definitely shoot an intercontinental missile from there easy. So basically, it was a kind of almost Tom Clancy esque style fucking political piece, and it shows like these kids are in school, and they look out, and all of a sudden they see a bunch of parachutes coming down, and basically that's the Cubans and the Russians freaking coming in to occupy America, and then they actually do take over everything, and they actually have to hide out in the woods, and the people are put in concentration camps, and freaking they had to sneak back into town to see their family members, but you have to risk that the people that are still out there, and look, now they're in a regime change. They have to follow. Look, if you get caught collaborating with these resistance fighters, you might get your head freaking chopped off or get shot in the firing squad. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, but and it's like these guerrilla fighter. They were all kids from high school, from the same football team or something like that. They really declared a war of attrition against these guys, and they kept freaking like uh, they kept attacking them and raiding them, and that's a way to slow up their infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a part where they jack a freaking semi of the enemy's food. That's freaking art of war, buddy. Steal food from the enemy, steal their fucking equipment and use it against them. I mean, this is fucking Viet Cong type shit, dude. I mean, and look, if that really happened, like if they EMP'd us, frickin', and you were just a frickin', you basically, in the moment, and the shit hits the fan, every man that is left standing is militia, not army, not regular, not standard troop. No. Actually, if they really cared about winning, they would want us there as fucking asymmetrical, like they did in the Revolutionary fucking War. What helped us win, I guess, supposedly what the history books fucking say, because all trapper the trappers and hunters from America had better guns that shot straighter, frickin', and they could fucking snipe people, and they wouldn't, like, look, back in the day you're supposed to meet up in a field, supposed to look at each other, some guys supposed to come parlay, then you go back to your army, then the guys start marching in really slow, and they just stand there and shoot each other and fall. I mean, that is an awesome example of how they use war as a blood sacrifice. It's like, look, it's ridiculous. There's other ways. Look, you don't have to do that. But if you're imperialistic and life is cheap here, pride is everything. Egotism is everything. My legacy. I'm gonna be immortalized in history because I'm such a great fucking commander. You know what I'm saying? These types are look. They love these situations, and they will look. How fucking powerful are you gonna feel if you tell a man if you send a man off to fucking die? You know what I'm saying? What a fucking god complex that'll give somebody. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But uh, I mean, that is a excellent like look presentation of what it could be like. What it what this is gonna what like look. It could be like that over there in Ukraine for them. You know what I'm saying against the Russians, right? But you never know. And then the remake of the movie, I'm talking about the old one from the 80s, man. That one's more I don't know, the newer one it was the Chinese. So I mean it was switched out with the Russians and Cubans. But I mean these are all real just like in World War II and World War One, certain countries started working off one another and while the chaos was happening, other people started scrambling for power grabs. Freaking I think Japan invaded freaking China, I think. You know, for instance, at the same time, the Nazis were fucking invading like France and Poland and shit. Uh, so in the fog of war and amongst the chaos, the controlled chaos, the Ordo Ab Chao, fucking WW3 Albert Pike, letter to Mazzini plan. Basically, we are look. They tried it already. No, that's part of the plan. I think it says 3 wars. And this new war is going to be in fucking super ideological war. It's war on everybody, everybody against everybody. It really is. They planned it this way and designed it this way to turn the anarchists and the Marxists and the fucking atheists and the fucking nihilists. I mean, look, they really psychologically profiled the different ideologies that were going to be present. And I mean, it's happening very similar to the way that the dude outlined it. This was like in the fucking 1800s. This is how long they've been planning this shit. Like they really plan 100-year war. Fucking and a predictive programming is a way that they can introduce you to the idea so when it happens you won't be so shocked by it. So it's actually a social engineering kind of ideological subversion sort of a tool. It can be used either way. It could be used as a covert bat signal, so to speak, as a passing the war club freaking sort of a thing. But it also can be a dirty propaganda programming freaking thing too, dude. So I mean, look, and if you can learn to recognize these predictive programmings, freaking, and look, you just don't watch the movie as a passive observer. Be an active observer, where you're filling in the blanks and reading in between the lines and freaking seeing what they're really trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Not they use a lot of innuendos and insinuations in these flicks as well. But I'm just saying, because of what's going on right now, it's an excellent time. If you've never seen Red Dawn, next time I get the chance, I might just go I might order it offline, and I might watch that bitch every day for like till I really absorb. Like look, let that shit like look, uh, use it as fuel to act more, prep more, get more ready, get more aware. Freaking look, like re go over my freaking checklist, look at all my freaking, like look, double and triple my efforts, and also ask others to join in on the think tank. And look, we can. That's the thing about this, man. I mean, even with your Facebook, that can kind of work, but they got that censored as F2. But look, two eyes are better than, or four eyes are better than two. Two heads are better than one. Wisdom is found in a multitude of counsel. What good look tactician would not take counsel from other people? Or you know what I'm saying? So I mean, look, it's already happening as it is. So it's just like I'm just riding the wave right now.